Okay, bye. Oh! Uh-oh, you're still here. Let's talk about the deck then. Once upon a time, I went to local. I draw. I normal summon Zoodiac Whiptail, and I Xyz summon. No. What? Why not?
Oh, shit!
I had to take a cold shower after saying that for the first time. Seems like a lot of people nowadays are really into negation and disruption during the first turn of their duel. Which, I don't blame them. It's the best way to win. It's easy. Most of the time, it's easy to learn the steps on how to special summon. As of right now, there's only one real fast way to get those negations and disruptions on field. And that's not through spells and traps. Unfortunately, it's through monsters. Anyone who's a competitive player knows that getting the monsters out is the fastest way to build up disruptions and negations in the first turn. So, I built this Zoodiac deck to go second, to destroy those boards, destroy those monster boards. You're gonna see a lot. You're gonna notice a lot of spells and traps I play that is for going second. This is a deck specifically, or it's easier made to go second because Zoodiacs cannot go first anymore. It's not as advantageous, and the only reason you would want to go first is if you were running a Zoo Stun, a stun variant of Zoodiacs. But we saw that a couple months ago, and it topped something, I forget what. But as you can see, it didn't exactly make a good impact. It didn't make a lasting impact. Also, you're gonna have to forgive me because a lot of this, I've been through a lot of deck profiles for Zoodiacs, and most of it is going to be the same thing. It's gonna feel like the same thing because there's a lot of builds that are very similar, and it works. It works in that way. 3 Thoroughblades for the attack. Discard to draw. It's damn good for the Zoodiacs. Now that they don't have, Broadbow and Trident. 3 Whiptail. Banishes the monster, and technically, to some degree, it's a hand trap also. So that's pretty neat. And Zoodiac's easiest removal was to just board wipe the area. Along came Ram to save the day. He will not allow for that. You will revive a Zoodiac and hopefully stay in the game if your monsters get destroyed like Ram. But realistically, your opponent's not going to destroy Ram. It's just there to help in case your opponent does destroy Ram. 1 Bunny Blast. Now I was debating on which one should I add, Bunny Blast or Cataroost. But Cataroost doesn't actually do anything advantage-wise. It shuffles the Zoodiac back into the deck. Any Zoodiac card back into the deck. But I think I would rather have it in my hand. Bunny Blast gets the destroyed, when it's destroyed, it gets the Zoodiac card back in your hand. Even Zoodiac Barrage. Bunny Blast can add Zoodiac Barrage back to your hand. And that's a win-win. I'll run one more just for the extra name. And the wrap here. You like my thumbnail? Gameciel, Kamungus, Godarla, and Radiant. 4 Kaiju monsters because we know that those monsters on the field negating and disrupting your plays, they can't stay on the field. Kaiju the son of a gun, and then get on with your play. 1 Gem Knight Amber. I don't have Gem Knight Garnet. I only have Amber. Amber's pretty good though, because it's still an Earth. I think most of the Gem Knights are Earth monsters. But he's good for that reason. At least he's Earth. Damage Juggler, Trick Clown, and Hat Tricker. So when that 1 ban list was released, I was surprised to see Damage Juggler get back to 1. I really thought things were going to get a little shaken up because it made an even better target for Brilliant Fusion. But I guess Brilliant Fusion kind of ran out of popularity, and people, didn't really even want to put a Damage Juggler in your deck. Because why? When you have Trick Clown to do the same thing, basically. But I like Damage Juggler because, you activate Brilliant Fusion if it's not ashed. You activate Brilliant Fusion, And then you can send the Damage Juggler and the Gem Knight to the graveyard. And that's +2 because you get the Seraphonite. And then you also get the Brilliant Fusion card that you can use to pop with Zoodiac Barrage. +2. And then you banish Damage Juggler to add either Trick Clown if you can normal summon it, or you add the Head Tricker so that you can link summon the Seraphonite with the Head Tricker for Mace's Radiance. It's extra good. 2 Ghost Ogre and Snow Rabbits. These would be... I would have put more hand traps in this deck, but I don't have them. I just don't have them. That's it. And it's not really a matter of money. I just don't have them. 3 Zoodiac Barrage. This is a Zoodiac deck. 3 Tanky. You add a monster. 3 Brilliant Fusion. Now, wow, 3 Brilliant Fusion. I've seen this in another Zoodiac deck. Yeah, a lot of other Zoodiac decks are using 3 Brilliant Fusion. Oh, real original profile. The reason you see Brilliant Fusion in so many Zoodiac deck profiles is because it generates a lot of advantage for the deck. It speeds up the deck, 1, 2. And 3, if anything, it adds an extra face-up target for Zoodiac Barrage. It's an impressively synergetic card for Zoodiacs. There's pretty much no real reason why not to play this. I know it's kind of it's an engine, and it's weird, and it's technically not a Zoodiac card, but it fits very well with the Zoodiacs. Triple Mind Control, because just people always run their monsters. They will depend their monsters for any negation. You know, there's Tri-Gate Wizard, there's Crystal Wing, there's Totally Awesome. Wow, people just love negating with their monsters. I guess there's only one way to get rid of them. The best way to get rid of it, actually. If you can target them at all. You know, there's the occasional Nightmare Goblin that won't let you target. Well, then you're out of luck. Dark Hole, Raigeki, and Interrupted Kaiju Slumber. They function very similarly, and they're all limited. It's very funny. They all do the same thing, and they're all very nice going second when your opponent has a big board. If your opponent has a big board. More like if. Destroying monsters with spells is not as good as it used to be, but it's still a good, decent, almost consistent way to get rid of the opponent's monsters. The only reason it's not too consistent is because it's a spell. It's not searchable. Monster Reborn. Monster Reborn. You know, let's say you have Thoroughblade in your hand, and then another Zoodiac. Or let's say you have all Zoodiacs in your hand, and a Thoroughblade in your hand. Normal summon a Thoroughblade, discard to draw. And then you can link it, or Exceed summon it into a Shogunine, and then activate Shogunine Detach to bring back any Zoodiac from the grave. Like summon them off for Mace's Radiant. And then you Monster Reborn, a Thoroughblade, to unbreak your hand. But Monster Reborn is also nice to either take your opponent's monster, or if anything, a Borolo that you had summoned, you could have summoned a while ago. 1 Zoodiac combo. You really don't want to run more than 1 Zoodiac combo. In fact, you don't even want to draw into it. If anything, you would just want to dump it with Rapier so that you can get the recycle and draw, and that's it. Because hey, Emerald is banned. How else are we gonna get those Zoodiacs back? Solemn Warning and Solemn Strike. I wasn't really sure what to fill in for the last 2 slots. You know, it could be up to you. I mean, obviously everything, all the deck is all up to you. You don't need to follow this exact recipe. In fact, I would discourage you to follow the exact recipe. You'll soon realize why once you start playing the deck in competitive play. You could probably find something better for your meta, because, you know, not all locals are the same. Not all locals are created equally. Extra deck! 3 Choconine, 3 Tiger Mortar, a Hammer Kong, and a 2 Borbos. 2 Borbos. There's the Zoodiac lineup. I used to actually, before I used to actually run only 2 Choconine, 2 Tiger Mortar, and 1 Borbo and 1 Hammer Kong. Because, you know, for the names, 1, and for 2, I think I used to fill it with other link monsters so that I could link it to other things, and I just depended on combo to recycle all my Xyz monsters. But it wasn't that consistent, and it was hard to make a comeback without the Xyz monsters, unfortunately. Unfortunately, you're pretty dependent on the leftover Xyz monsters that aren't as good as the other two, as Dryden and Broad Bull. Seraphinite. Wow, I didn't see that coming. Mrs. Radiant, because it's an Earth deck. I realize actually now that you can either go for Mrs. Radiant or firefighting Daruma Doll. But Daruma Doll isn't as generic as Mrs. Radiant. Because if you have two Zoodiac monsters, you can go for Daruma Doll, and you can also go for Mrs. Radiant. But if you have, say, Seraphinite in the extra monster zone, and then some other monster, you can't go into firefighting Daruma Doll, because Seraphinite is a fairy, not a beast warrior, or winged beast. So I chose Mrs. Radiant instead. Underclock Taker. I needed a generic link too that can drop down one of the link arrows, because you can go into your Seraphinite, and if you want the extra normal summon, use it to summon Trick Clown. Link summon into Underclock Taker, revive the Trick Clown, and then you can summon one of the bigger Link monsters. Topologic Trisbana. Amazing. This card's hilarious. This card's hilarious in Zoodiac because it's so easy to trigger. I mean, I guess it's easy to trigger Trisbana if you were putting it in a deck anyway. But also, for Zoodiac, it's very easy to trigger Trisbana. Just summon a monster, summon a Zoodiac, and then next season to anything. It triggers Trisbana. Borrelguard Dragon. Now, I saw Boral Sword Dragon, and Boral Sword Dragon can easily replace Borrelguard Dragon. Like the rest of the deck, I just don't have the card for it. Boral Sword is impressive. Yeah, I've seen it. It does almost exactly what Borrelguard needs to do, but a lot better, a lot more aggressive. And the Borrelguard Dragon. I think Boral Sword can attack twice, but it can't get over But Boral Sword can't get over every monster. That's what Borrelguard. That's what Borrelguard does. Borrelguard can get over any monster. Side deck. Now this is obviously the more flexible part of making a deck. So, whatever you see in your locals or your regionals or whatever, you know what to add. But this is what I have in terms of my locals. One Solemn Judgment. It's just a one-off. I didn't know what else to add. Two Mistakes, because Gookies, Trickstars, they just love adding cards to their hands. They can draw also, but they're more tempted to add cards to their hand than draw. 3 Rivalry of Warlords. Beast Warrior, guys. Apparently this ruins Gookie decks pretty damn well. I can't imagine it would ruin other decks though. Maybe it could ruin Spirals. I know it does absolutely nothing to Altergeist, which is why it's in the side deck. And again, with monsters being so rampant and special summoning all over the place, you need a way to stop that, or at least slow it down. Rivalry of Warlords. Dead right. It's the new Maxi. Anytime your opponent adds, you draw. And there's a lot of adding in this meta. Mistaken Arrest. Now, I asked a couple friends which would be better, Mistaken Arrest or Shared Ride. They said Shared Ride, which the only reason I can see why it's better, or there's a lot of reasons I can see. Shared Ride just gives you so much cards. Why would you not pick Shared Ride? Another disadvantage that Mistaken Arrest has over Shared Drive is that Mistaken Arrest also stops your adding during your next turn if you were to activate this during your opponent's turn. But Zoodiacs don't exactly do a lot of adding. If anything, they do a lot of drawing. Like, even if you were going to add a Pot of Desires, you'd still be drawing. You wouldn't be adding. For as much as a meta likes to add cards, I'd say if your deck can run both. But Shared Ride really is better, especially if your deck can make a comeback. And last but not least, 3 Twin Twisters. For whatever weird deck comes up that runs back row. Because a lot of meta decks don't run as much back row before. But, the side deck is there for you to make sure that you can go against every matchup, or as many matchups as you can. And some people are going to be running back row. I know there's still some like true Draco players, and Altergeist definitely runs back row, but Twin Twisters is for those decks that run back. Thanks for watching my Zoodiac deck profile for next month actually. Right now it's July, but I put August because it's going to be August in a couple days. So that'll be it for this time, guys. Thanks for watching, and if you want to see more deck profiles, let me know. Or if something was weird about the video, or if you learned something, leave a comment down below. I'll see you next time. This is ZCpengu, signing out. Here's to hoping you don't get U-boarded.